3 short years ago, we were still a democratic nation. Unequal? You bet. Was anyone really looking after our benefits? Somewhat. The unions still had a chance, and I think they've got an even bigger chance of winning out today. But we're going to have to be careful. Careful because if it's up to the corporations and those developing the internet and AI, we're not going to have a chance at equality at all. The handwriting is on the wall. You can already see it. When 5 regulators from the EU and Great Britain came here with knowledge on misinformation, what happened? We wanted to deport them. Yet, 3 short years ago, in Foreign Affairs magazine, Samantha Powers had written about the United States cooperation with 63 other nations to regulate the internet and regulate AI, because AI unchecked will indeed take over our jobs, and we don't know what else. When I read science fiction or I read espionage, you see where it's just my country's robots battling you. So it's whoever can make the most evil wins. I don't think that's a society that we want. Right now, in the present, we're battling losing the caps on the Affordable Care Act's insurance premiums. Many people are going to be without health care because it's going to be too expensive for everyone. So it's been predicted that as much as 16 million people will be without health care. We've got a lot of folks who have no jobs. So this wasn't a Merry Christmas for a lot of folks. And going into the new year, I'd like us to have hope for the future. And I think we can. Because democracy is there. We have the framework. The framework exists to regulate AI, to regulate the internet, to regulate the AR-15s. It's there. And new candidates coming up for Congress and for your local governments have been hurt by gun violence. And they are adamant that they want to control the safety of our nation so that we don't have mass murders occurring all the time. Prayers don't work. Only regulation works. We know it's a direct correlation. Less guns, less violence, less death. Let's see what happens in 2026. I have hope for our future because I know a lot of people are going to be working as advocates. As we think about January 6th, 2021, we should think of that insurrection. Not that it was a hoax, because it wasn't. It was real. And 5 or 6 policemen really lost their lives. And all of the insurrectionists were pardoned by Trump. We shouldn't forget that he incited this riot on the Capitol. I know when I wanted to visit the Capitol many years ago, when my friend who worked in the Pentagon was still alive, we couldn't even get near the Capitol. So how this was engineered to overwhelm the police on January 6th, it took a lot of organization, and a lot of people were really terrified, and several lost their lives. You can't forget that insurrection. It's part of our American history, not a good history. And now I understand why Trump is trying to suppress U.S. aid. It's not just that we saved 26 million people from dying from AIDS. The other mission of U.S. aid, I found, is election controls. We actually stood by and helped monitor elections to keep them safe. I think we're going to need them in this country as well, because Trump is trying very hard to destroy our elections, our ability to cast our ballots. But you know what? He's going to fail, and he's going to fail this year at a lot of lawlessness and illegalities that he wants to pursue. We already know the hallmarks of authoritarianism are debt, country debt, and that they're piling on us a lot, to the tune of 5 to 6 trillion a year. We don't know what Trump's adventurism in Venezuela or in the waters of Venezuela have cost us, but it's got to be a lot. You can't man battleships and mass them on a Venezuelan port without costing money. So there's debt out there. Oh, and there's also debt to fund ICE that brutally mishandles all of us. So we got debt. We know we have corruption on a scale we've never seen before. And none of what's happening in America today have we ever seen before. We've never really flirted with authoritarianism. Sure, we've had a Gilded Age, but we didn't have authoritarianism. So, along with debt is corruption. You read the papers, maybe not American papers, not maybe your local papers. I found out that the oil lobbyist group, when they got their $1 billion and their subsidies, they gave $105 million to the Republicans who voted yes to pursuing fossil fuels. That's a lot of cash. So I figure when everyone says the Republicans are scared, maybe a few Republicans are scared. The rest of them are taking in the cash. Looks to me like the Republicans who voted for whatever bills he wanted, they got 10%. So corruption is going to really hurt us, just like it hurts other nations. And what else is the hallmark of authoritarianism? The hallmark is patronage. You only put in the people you know you can rely on, not the experts. But, and this is a good but, the bare bones are still there. We still could tap into all the information that was gathered to control the internet, control AI, to look at the laws that we had previously for gun safety. We can resurrect our Obamacare. We can resurrect it and make it better. Everything is there. The history never leaves, and we're not going to let Trump rewrite our history just yet. So, as far as I'm concerned, folks, it's a brief analysis of what is and what can be this year is up to us. And I'm convinced we're all going to work together to make America better than it was. So I look forward to the new year and working hard with all of you. I don't like this authoritarianism, and I'm hoping 60 to 70% and up that you don't like it either. I prefer to be nice to my neighbors and help each other so that we all have a society that works for everyone. Thank you. See you next week.